It began with a whisper that should have gone unheard. "That isn't your medicine?" said a trembling 13-year-old girl, her voice barely rising above the hum of the chandelier lights. Maya, the maid's daughter, wasn't supposed to be in the room. Servants' children never were. But what she saw that night inside the Harrington mansion would uncover secrets worth $75 million. For years, her mother had been treated like part of the furniture, spoken to, never spoken with. Yet when Maya noticed something wrong with the pills given to the sick billionaire upstairs, innocence collided with danger. She didn't yet understand inheritance, power, or greed, but she understood right from wrong. And what she saw wasn't right. Those 4 words she whispered would expose a family's darkest crime and rewrite her mother's life forever. Watch until the end, because one small voice can destroy an empire. Wait a second. Tell us where you're watching from in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more powerful stories like this. Maya was 13. A quiet, observant girl with wide eyes that noticed everything. She lived with her mother, Rosa, in the servants' quarters behind the Harrington estate, 2 small rooms smelling faintly of detergent and exhaustion. Rosa had cleaned for the Harringtons for 12 years. A family so rich their breakfast table could feed Maya's entire neighborhood. While the Harrington children attended private schools and rode ponies, Maya went to the local public school, returning each afternoon to help her mother with chores. Rosa always said, "Be grateful, mija. They let us stay here." But Maya didn't feel grateful when Mrs. Harrington spoke to her mother like she was invisible, or when the guards checked their bags every time they left, as if poor meant dishonest. When Mr. Harrington fell ill, a private nurse arrived, a pale woman with perfect hair and eyes that never met Maya's. Rosa was ordered to assist quietly without asking any questions. But Maya, curious and fearless, often peeked in after school. She noticed the nurse changing labels on bottles, hiding pills in her pocket, and whispering with Mrs. Harrington late at night. Something didn't feel right, though she couldn't yet name it. And one stormy night, that feeling turned into a nightmare that would shake the Harrington mansion to its core. Rain lashed against the glass windows, lightning flashing across the polished floors. Mr. Harrington's condition had worsened, his voice barely more than a breath. Rosa had been called upstairs after dinner, told to help the nurse. But when she didn't return for hours, Maya crept up the back staircase, her bare feet silent on the cold marble. She found her mother frozen in the central doorway of the bedroom, holding a tray of silver cups. The nurse stood by the bedside, measuring out medicine. But Maya's sharp eyes caught something. The pills were different. The color, the size, the label, everything. "That isn't your medicine," Maya said softly. The nurse spun around, startled. Rosa gasped and grabbed her daughter's hand, but it was too late. The words hung in the air like thunder. The nurse's face drained of color. The next morning, Rosa was fired. No explanation. No payment. A warning, stay quiet if you value your safety. But Maya couldn't forget what she saw. She began searching for answers, sneaking into the mansion's office while her mother packed their things. On a shelf, she found a folder labeled Estate Planning. She didn't understand all the words, but one line stood out. $75,000 to be donated to charity upon death. Only if death is natural. The meaning hit her later that night. The wrong medicine wasn't a mistake. It was murder waiting to happen. At the library, Maya used a public computer to look up the medication. It was a sedative known to weaken the heart. The same bottle she'd seen in the nurse's bag. Heart pounding, she emailed the photos and details to a journalist known for exposing corruption. Hours later, he replied, "If what you're saying is true, this is huge. Stay safe, kid. Don't go near that house again. But the truth had already started to move, and nothing could stop it now. A week later, news vans surrounded the Harrington estate. Headlines blazed across screens. Billionaire's wife accused of attempted murder and fraud. The nurse confessed everything, admitting she'd been paid to alter the older man's medication. The money trail led straight to Mrs. Harrington's offshore accounts. Inside the mansion, chaos reigned. Mrs. Harrington screamed her innocence to the cameras. Still, the evidence, the bottles, the fake prescriptions, the nurse's testimony spoke louder than her lies, and then came the twist no one expected. When investigators checked the anonymous email that broke the story, they traced it to a public library account registered under a child's name, Maya. Reporters flooded her small apartment. 13-year-old exposes billion-dollar scam. She didn't want fame. She just wanted her mother's job back and the truth to be heard. When Mr. Harrington recovered, frail but alive, he asked to meet the girl who'd saved him. Maya stood shyly before him, clutching her worn backpack. His hand trembled as he reached out and whispered, "Thank you." For the first time, someone from that world looked at her like she mattered. The fallout was swift. Mrs. Harrington was charged with attempted homicide and fraud. The $75 million went to the charity as intended. Mr. Harrington, deeply ashamed, dissolved several family companies and started a new foundation for underprivileged youth. He called it the Maya Fund. Rosa was offered her job back, but refused. Instead, she accepted a position managing the new foundation's community center. Life wasn't luxurious. Still, it was honest and filled with pride. Maya's story went viral, inspiring millions. Scholarships poured in from admirers of her bravery. She stayed humble, though the world now knew her name. Some called her a hero. Others said she'd destroyed a powerful family. But Maya knew the truth. She had stopped a crime. Standing years later at a school assembly, she told her story with quiet strength. "I was only 13, she said, "but I knew what I saw was wrong." Sometimes doing the right thing doesn't make you safe. It just makes you brave. Her words echoed like a promise to every child who'd ever been told their voice didn't matter because it was a child's voice that had shattered the silence of a billionaire's empire and forced the world to listen. Tell us in the comments, which country and city are you watching from? Take care.